Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again back to Going Vocal. Today, we're going to discuss the concept of cruelty to animals. We'll focus a little bit here on India, but we will also have a look at a global perspective. We hope to give you a shorter video today as a test to see whether we'll be able to, promote ideas in less time. So, yes, good evening, Anupam. How are you?
Hi Rahul, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it's an interesting topic again, so yes, we can give it a shot.
Yes. What do you think about the concept of cruelty, to animals vis-a-vis the Indians now? How would you think that? I mean, what is the situation, the position? We are, after all, a nation that has many religious forces here that promote kindness to all sentient and living and non-sentient beings, like Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism's core principles. We tend to believe that even plants have to be treated well. But today we see a lot of things that go against that grain. So what do you think? Why, how do you think that this has come to be? What do you think that can be done about this?
Okay, thank you Rahul.
Do you think that this is a correct, do you think that this is actually a correct perspective as well? So these are the things I'd like to know.
Okay, uh, for me, I think animal cruelty can be we can see it at two side of a coin. On one side, we see that it's required actually. You see, there are a lot of associated um, service providers are there. Then there are people who have some family who are earning the livelihood doing these kind of things like not talking about like people killing those dogs and pets. I'm talking about the actual where we have the domestic market of consumption of animal eating. So it's on a large scale over here in India, and it's an irony considering that you mentioned that we have religious associations with many religions that we have in India do not consider this as pious or holy in those sense, but still we find that even in people of those religions eat these on occasional basis. But on the other side, we are also, if you are talking about the animal cruelty, I think the cruelty people mostly talk about are the dogs. I have seen a lot of videos circulating in the social media sites where people saying that there are some the cruelty are happening against dogs. Where I have seen that in the last, I think 2 3 months back, we have seen a maid was there who was there to take care of a pet, a small pet dog, and suddenly what happened, I don't know, in the lift it was captured that she uh, pulled the thread on which that dog uh, was tied, and she threw the dog away, and the dog was hit on his head and he was killed. So we had a lot of reactions coming up from the people saying that no, this is very bad. Things are happening to dogs and people. What has happened to the patients level of people? But are the same people who are eating chickens? If you see how they are kept in the farms, you see the very small spaces in a small space where only one hand can accommodate. We have seen a lot of chickens are kept in the small space. So we have seen double standards from the people, and it has to come. People, if I think the best thing is to go veg if you are so much worried about people of animals. If not, then I guess we should maintain the cruelty level to every animal rather than just for two very specific pets that we like or we try to have at our home. So,
Right.
but if you see the global picture, you see that in India it's a fashion of eating non-vegetarian food. But if you see, is it a necessity in India? That is also a question, because if you see the other countries like Russia or Canada, where even the United States of America, we have seen that the weather are very cold over there, and it's a need where people need those kind of food, animal food, to live, because in those worst condition where it's too much cold, the agriculture products cannot be grown. and you have to feed
But
a
there are
lot
other
number of
places such
people.
as Africa and South America where we have a lot more heat, where they have a lot of,
Yes.
and they have a history of eating non-vegetarian food as well.
Correct.
So, if you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
serve,
But I think the need arose when the food was short, because with vegetarian food you cannot grow it everywhere, plants cannot grow, and then there was a need where it people found that animals can also be used as a source of food, and then sometimes also feel that it's the human tendency to take advantage of everything. Once they have their cows and buffaloes with them, they get milk from them, and once they are old and they are good for nothing, they are not able to give no more milk. Then they kill them. So this is how it happens, I think, with the human
uh,
tendency, and I think this is I feel is bad. What do you think, Rahul?
right, you see, I basically think that, like you rightly said, there is, consumption of animals is something that might be have been done or started as a culture at a time where human beings suffered for food. Where uh, plants that they could eat came less in number, and now they could eat the animals that were able to eat other plants. Like human beings cannot digest grass, and the buffaloes were probably, or the cows were probably able to digest that. So some people went to that, or what chickens can eat, the seeds and stuff like that. uh, they were able to eat the chickens, give a little bit of relaxation to the plants that they were eating also, so that those could grow.
Yeah.
So somewhere along those lines, along that mathematics, I think people began to uh, have animals for food. And I think to some extent, having animals for food is what required for sustaining larger populations.
Yes.
I mean, practically, when I talk about it practically, of course, once they get used to eating something, people find it difficult. Like, I'm a non-vegetarian, and I know that there's a lot of people who find it difficult to leave that
Yes.
particular food habit. So even if you stop become a vegetarian for, let's say, 6 or 7 months. I saw my sister try to become a vegetarian for about 2 years. Was about as much as she could hang on to it. After she in fact married a person who is a strict vegetarian,
Okay.
and she suffered in terms of, she wanted to be a vegetarian, but and she made it out of her own free will and choice, but she struggled because of her years of being used to eating with a non-vegetarian, and got back to it after some time. So there are those kind of issues, like when you get used to something, and you might find it difficult to lose it completely. And some people do manage to sustain it over extended periods also. I think largely the concept of cruelty, yes, killing any one of these animals is cruel, but there is more to it. Like you rightly said, the chickens being kept in a tiny coops, transportation of the chickens are sometimes just horrible.
Yes.
Now, I happen to know a gentleman who dealt in with chickens, and he used to tell me that when the chickens come, many of them just die when they come out itself, because they've been treated so badly that they are not able to live. And you see, when you go to butcher shops, you see certain people, they kill a chicken in front of another chicken, and if you look at the chicken, you feel that it knows it's going to die. So you feel that there is a sense of cruelty around that. Perhaps it would be nicer if you could treat those chickens a little bit well before you kill them and consume them for food. Because you see, it's practically impossible to tell the world to stop eating chicken.
Exactly. Exactly.
They've been used to doing it for so long that to tell the world immediately don't eat chicken, maybe our future generations can probably do that. But right now, I think if you tell the world let's not eat chicken, I don't think most of them are going to comply. So
Yes.
let's treat them a bit better with respect. Okay, don't kill one in front of the other. Show a little bit of respect to that, a little bit of humane behavior. I think that if human beings don't learn how to treat we are called an advanced civilization. I guess we have artificial intelligence these days, and we're called an advanced civilization. I think an advanced civilization should go and become a bit more kinder to these absolutely, you know, powerless animals, because they're totally not even close to us in any way in terms of advancements. So we should show a little bit of kindness and towards them and treat them a little bit better. It'll help us also treat each other better. You know, I feel it might help us treat each other better when we are attentive and we have a sense of focus on what we're doing around these animals. We'll tend to have a sense of focus, a sense of compassion around what we do to each other. So I think, because as you can now see, the world is not really in a good position. If you look at Iran, the deaths that are happening, if you look at Israel, Palestine, the deaths that are happening, if you go anywhere across the world, you see people killing each other at such a level that maybe if we get a little bit more attentive, we can reduce the numbers a little bit more, where people are a bit more controlled over such a thing. So that is generally what I feel with regards to cruelty to animals. I think also it's not just the animals we consume for food, like you rightly said, street dogs. I mean, I don't know what you think about the recent judgments around street dogs. What's your opinion on that? Like, culling street dogs.
I think, like I said, it can be both ways. You see, I've seen people. I think it was a news of yesterday only, where I've seen a guy who was barking like a dog, and the news was he was bitten by a dog, and he got rabies, and he somehow developed those kind of habits which a dog does. And it was really scary to see him. And when we see these kind of news, and then we also see some others being bitten, and then I'm also afraid, because we see a lot of stray dogs over here now. Previously, I was not very frightened of these dogs or stray dogs going in and around me whenever I'm out on the road, or maybe within the societies. Right now, I'm really scared because of these such news, and things are happening. It's not just
The
news, and
media.
yeah, it's not just the media. Actually, things are happening. But
Street dogs were
yeah,
kind until we saw the media.
yes, yes,
Until we saw
and yeah, right. It all depends on the media, how they portray things. If they
it.
want something to be shown in a negative shade, they will show them regularly. We'll see them on the feeds and everything, and it has to be
Right,
balanced.
right.
But in India, it's difficult to contain these kind of breeding of dogs. But government, if they want strict actions, the government has to take right actions by stopping their breeding, maybe somehow injecting them so that they are not spreading a lot. That has to be taken care by the government, rather than telling people do not feed stray dogs, because people will find some way. If they have stray dogs, they will feed them somehow. Even if they are leftovers or
Right.
something, they will try to feed them. That is
Right.
how government has to take some actions on these things, and then only I think the population will reduce, and then we can find another way to have maybe some shelter or something. Because in this way, the way they are breeding, it's difficult to have their shelters and creating the homes for them.
But I think a shelter is probably not going to be in any way reasonable, Manupam,
Right,
because
right,
just imagine, we need a lot of land first of all to find a shelter.
right, right.
Who's going to pay for the shelter? Who's going to pay to feed the dogs in the shelter? Who's going to take the effort? And these kind of things make it slightly impractical in many ways. I think culling the street dogs is a good idea. Yeah, culling them so that their populations don't rise, and that makes it a little bit more practical. And like you rightly said, rather than creating a fear psychosis amongst the people regarding the street dogs, because I think a single event that occurs somewhere in India tends to be projected by the media and creates hyper fear all across the nation. So maybe a single stray dog somewhere has done something, and that begins to create this fear psychosis. So I think more important than all of this is that we get to train our children how to treat street dogs. Like, don't
Yes,
run
yes,
away from a
yeah.
dog, because when you run away
Yes,
from a dog
right.
its brain is wired differently. It tends to think that you're prey, or you're something that is has
Right,
done
right.
something wrong. Yeah, so it
And
chases.
I don't know what happens to human. They think that if they can run faster than dogs. I don't know. Because anyway, they are meant to run faster than us.
And in
So
fact, if you see some of the videos, if you see some of the videos, before the dog has done anything, the people start screaming and running away.
Yes.
The dog is, then it starts chasing them, you know.
Yes. I think that, and then
So,
people
so
think that they can
that is
outrun the
the
dogs.
right, right.
And the people who don't run anyway, they try to run at that point of time where there are dogs and something,
Yeah,
and then they fell, and
because I
then
feel that a lot of these animals are intrinsically they know the kind of nature of human beings, and in fact, I've heard that a lot of animals, like these forest animals, even forest animals, that's what I should say, not just the street dogs, even forest animals are they're they know that a human being is a very dangerous creature to them, so they
yes,
generally don't just attack. You know,
yes,
they try to avoid human beings as much as possible because there are, they, I guess animals also communicate. Like I believe that there was a wolves that ate some human being in America, and an entire pack of wolves were killed. From the sky. In fact, the bullets were shot from a helicopter, and they killed an entire pack of them. Two, I think, a pack or two of them, in fact. So they tend to communicate with each other when events like this happen in their own ways of communication. I personally, and sorry, I'm sorry, something just happened. So they tend to communicate with each other, and they figure out that human beings are a very dangerous lot to them. So I think that fear is there inside them, and what we need to do is we need to start training human beings uh, on how to deal with them. Don't completely misunderstand the animals you're dealing with. Don't go out there and run away. Don't go out there and
right,
make all kinds
yes,
of mistakes with regards to your animals, because there's no need for all of that. So human beings have to become more and more alert to their kind of present positions, in terms of their position vis-a-vis other forces of nature, living forces, if you will, and they have to have a little bit more of respect. I believe even like lots of forest areas are these days being cut down
yes,
to expand human settlement. But I think with regards to this, the government is making some level of effort. I feel it hasn't made any level of effort with regards to the treatment of animals consumed for food. But I think with regards to this forest, they're trying. I don't know how successful they are, though. But what's your opinion? Do you feel that there are any kinds of successes being made there?
I think yes, because we have seen a lot of environment clearance needs to be taken if you want to build some road infrastructure around the area where the lot of forest areas are there. And people also protest. They know that people are also aware these days, so they also come in between. So
Politically aware,
yes,
yes,
politically
yes,
aware. So they know if things needs to be some forest needs to be not to be cut down or they need to be preserved. People come ahead, and so also the government is also taking care. And I think, but deforestation is a major cause of concern for us these days, because we have seen a lot of things where wild animals are there coming into the directly into the societies where people live. You have seen a lot of I've seen a lot of news in Maharashtra where I've seen uh, the tigers or the leopards or some sort of panthers.
yes,
We have
yes.
seen in areas where people are rightly living over there. It has attacks also some people. So I think the major reason is one, deforestation, and another reason can be their breeding in the zoos, because I've seen that some animals they get overbreed in the zoo, and then what the forest people or the zoo people does is they leave them in the jungles and or in the forest, but they do not know how to live there, and they try to come up to the people where people are inhabited in the societies and people are living. So that is also one of the major reasons that we have seen conservation of wild animals is important, but it has to be at a level where it is not impacting the human settlement. So that also has to be taken care.
Right. Right. Very good thoughts, Anupam. In fact, with that, we'll come to the conclusion of our
Yes.
episode today, our first attempt at an ultra short video. So I'd like to bid our viewers also goodbye, bye, in fact, until next time. And let's be kinder to our animals. They are,
Yes.
uh, you know, compatriots with us, living on this earth, and many of them are companions also. And we should find ways to coexist more respectfully with the animals on this earth. So let's be less cruel and be more kind. We may find ways to be happier living with each other also. So until next time, bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.